Hello, I'm Binzer Flynn, and welcome to the Flinncast. Hi. Ah!
Hello. Yeah.
Holy shit. What's up?
Oh, not too much, man. It's been a crazy weekend.
Was it?
Well, yeah. I mean, we just like I had this nice week in back, and then Sam did his usual work himself into a bladder infection by the time I got back. So,
I was gonna say, what did he eat now?
well, it seemed like he ate a broccoli elastic. You know, those like big fat rubber bands, because Brian couldn't find it anywhere. So I got back here and off we went to the vet, and an X-ray and a urinalysis, and $600 later.
Oh god, little fucker. He used to eat those hair elastics by the fucking handful and puke them up.
Yeah, like he literally threw up like 7 of them one time. So
he's like the Flurkin from Captain Marvel.
I was telling the vet about it, and she was like, "How is it possible that this cat has never had to have surgery? This is insane." And she said something looked kind of suspect in his stomach, so who knows? Maybe he did eat something.
Car tire down there.
Yeah, I mean, he was puking. So anyway, so he's all doped up and relatively happy. So
wild Tuesday nights.
Sounds like you're having a great time.
Everything's wonderful.
Everything's fine.
I just can never leave. The only time he doesn't do this is when it's either you or Maggie taking care of him.
I don't know. He's eaten and puked up some things on my watch for sure.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Oh, he's so nice.
That reminds me, did I hide the block of butter?
Right?
Jeez, and I thought I had an issue of having a diabetic cat.
One of the cats eats through loaves of bread like a mouse.
Dean used to do that.
That's
it's
weird.
crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Just like there's
It's
like a
so
tunnel
weird.
right through. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how do they even get their faces? Like, it doesn't look like it's possible.
If their skull can fit, I think that's the biggest part of their body.
Cats will fit into any tiny little space they can get their head in. Trust me. Awesome.
Get in. That's crazy.
Oh, did we lock the doors? Cole locked outside?
I think we locked Cole out again. He doesn't need to be in here, right?
Now tell him he's on his
Whoops.
Amazing.
Yeah, just throw him a ball and say, "Here, go play."
own. I assume she went to let him in because I didn't get up. I was camping this weekend, Chris.
It was pretty good. We were by ourselves for the first night, and then somebody showed up on the site next to ours. The second night, they were loud. It was
The music players, right?
yeah,
It's fucking annoying.
country music players, which was even worse.
Gross.
Well, at least it wasn't. At least it was music and not something else.
At least the something else will be over in a minute. Country music can go on for 4 or 5, 6 minutes.
like the tune of Cotton Eye Joe? Is that the
Oh my god. Now I've conflated those two things with Cotton Eye Joe.
You know what? At least the beat for Cotton Eye Joe gives you a good rhythm.
Where did you come from? Where did you go? We were in the middle of a really good blow.
The only crappy part about camping was that because it's been so dry lately, because we haven't had any rain prior to Monday, was that you weren't allowed to have fires before 7.
Oh, yeah.
Which sucks because normally I have a campfire going the entire time we're there. And also because this year we opted for a site that you have to carry all your gear in.
Right.
Oh.
So we didn't bring our barbecue because I usually just cook shit on the fire.
Oh, man.
Because I'm a real man or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, so that automatically meant we didn't eat supper until 8 p.m. every night because 7 o'clock rolls around, you start your fire, you got to get it down to cooking temperatures and blah 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 blah. So
I'm hoping by the time late October rolls around, there's no kind of burn ban so we can have bonfires at the property because, and Jenny can attest to this, we have a tradition and history of getting caught by lands and forests in St. Anne's
Oh, that's that's right, because they could see us from the highway.
Yeah. Then they'd have to figure out how to get to us. They'd come out of the woods and like, oh, they're not with us, so we're fucked again.
Yeah, I think by the October rolls around, they'll be okay. They have a fire pit on the property, don't they? I think I saw a picture.
Two at least, I think.
Or does each cabin have one?
There's one over in the overlook, and then I think there's one closer to the house, but I don't know what this.
There's one next to the big cabin.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if she has one in beside the other one or not. There's definitely one next to the big cabin.
We used to biff apples at fucking trucks from that spot.
Oh my god.
Such troublemakers.
So again, I'm glad a lot of my antics are pre-YouTube.
No kidding.
Preach.
Seriously. God. The more you think about it, the more horrible it becomes.
Oh god.
Yep.
I'm gonna try not to slurp my tea too slurpily.
Maggie does that to me when she sees me drinking because she knows it'll work, and I'll fucking choke. I have to spit it out or choke to death. She did it to me on Zoom one night. Or what? Yeah, when we were still on Zoom. She saw me taking a drink and she went, and I nearly died.
You were in a good place.
I was really high that night, and I couldn't stop laughing for like 20 minutes.
Amazing.
Yeah, when those inhibitions are gone, once you start, you aren't stopping.
It's not the inhibitions that's gone. It's just the anxiety was gone, so I could relax and laugh and mean it.
Dun, dun, dun. We also got our marriage license, which was cool.
I was gonna ask about that.
Yay for legalities.
Now I'm sitting here beside Rupert, and we're gonna see how pissed off he is at me. Hey, buddy. Yeah, I smell like rats.
We're babysitting some rats while friends are.
I didn't want to ask.
That's an amazing statement out of context.
Friends of ours have gone to the cottage for 2 weeks, and they asked if I could look after their kids' rats because I used to keep rats, so I used to rescue them, and haven't had them in a while. So I was like, sure. So I was just downstairs in the basement scritching the rats.
Hey Jenny, do you know if Gene got his parcel already?
Yes.
Oh wait,
Yes, he got it.
Should we wait to share this news when we're being recorded?
We are being recorded. Always assume it's on.
Yes. So it sat in Cincinnati for several days because, COVID. But it made it. It made it to Hawaii, and it's there, and he was excited, and he was like, it's getting framed this weekend. And I was like, amazing. And he's like, it's awesome. And that's the last we've spoken.
I've been checking his Instagram, but yeah, so okay, it makes sense that nothing yet.
Did he buy one of the originals or?
No. He got a 42 by 42 inch blow up of the poker game. Print.
Oh.
How did you get that printed? Like how?
I did it through my regular printer, but they actually had to send away. They had to send to their hub in Montreal.
Oh, okay.
To get like the massive size done because they don't actually have the machine to do it in the city.
Right.
So yeah, and then it came back nicely packaged. I was very impressed. Yeah,
so does that mean, Ben, that if you abuse the same printer, that we could get a poster Flynn cards?
I don't see why not. You can get anything as long as you pay for it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I'm always pro paying for it.
That Apollo got me onto Sticker Mule, which is where I got the Flynn Dragon heads, which I was going to hand out to everybody. Then the lockdown happened, so I've been putting them on everything in the house. But I keep getting promo emails, and now it's like, oh, you can get magnets, you can get pins. So I'm gonna start looking into more shitty merchandise.
Oh, sweet.
Because I totally want my chibi as a magnet for the.
I know, and you said that it was Peter Foot that commented these would make good magnets. I'm like, yeah, you know what? They would. They're nice and colorful, cartoony.
Yeah, definitely.
I think other people would buy them too. Like it's not like yes, obviously we'd all want our own, but
you'd think that, but every time I do something like that, no one buys shit.
Yeah,
people are dumb.
It's
Sorry,
like
not you guys listening.
Well, that's totally going in the podcast. Those 6 people listening, fuck you. You're not buying our stuff.
Other people, not you guys, not y'all. I'm trying to be inclusive with my terminology now, so not y'all.
It's like when I did the
Yes.
fucking weekend pass artwork, and I was like, oh, I want to print that, and I made 30 prints and didn't sell a fucking one, and I used them for like scrap cardstock. Bunch of
That's
dicks.
lovely.
I have an artist signed badge. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, I was signing them for free at the end of the con. It gave me like 30 extras. I was like, here, you want one?
Everybody loved them though. They're pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, I was very happy with the response to it in general.
Oh, yes. Sorry. One
Wh-
further
what?
thought on sorry.
Continue.
I just realized
I thought I blacked out for a second and missed like a whole conversation.
I never finished saying. So Rod Roddenberry, because I checked to make sure that it got there, which is how we had the follow-up conversation, but I couldn't then, like, you know, he answered, you know, gave me the info, yes, it came, it's awesome, blah, blah, blah. But I then couldn't follow up and be like, so send me a picture of it, because it's just like, it just seems too much to keep pursuing the conversation from my end, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Now you just got to go. Well, I'm glad you like it. You want anything else? You know where to find me.
Yeah. And I now have to just figure out what the etiquette is for sharing that information publicly. Not being, you know, not like I'd like to mention that it happened in some capacity, and but I just don't know what the etiquette is for that.
I think the moment he puts it on social media, and I still think he will, when it's all framed and stuff, then there it's out in the world. Then you can go, oh, here you go, Rod Roddenberry's got my painting on his wall. Because there's no way he's not going to post that, you know? Like,
I hope so. I mean, he's not like the most consistent poster I've noticed. So, because I have also been stalking his social media accounts. But yeah, hopefully.
I think, yeah, like it might have to wait a little while, but I think it's inevitable that sooner or later we'll see something. If maybe like LeVar is there or something, he goes, oh, I've got that.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, we're going to see that thing.
Yeah, man. Because it's in the conference room. The
That's
conference
right.
room.
I mean, you've already achieved legendary status. I mean, you've won.
I have one. Thank you.
I lost.
You lost.
No! Why did you lose?
I'm the only one here that plays that game. Interesting.
Oh.
No, I've also lost the game.
I
Sorry.
hate that thing.
I don't play the game.
Fuck the game. All right, should we talk about some geeky shit?
Sure.
I mean, not that people probably wouldn't listen, you know, the 3 listeners would listen to us fuck around for an hour.
But that would be loud and creepy.
Oh, God.
You're loud and creepy.
You just came from nowhere. And if I may say, the next time you feel the need to share a necrophilia post on Facebook, Juice.
Hold
Oh,
on,
the
folks.
mem. Yeah.
We're going to stop
The
the
mem.
geeky stuff for a second, and we're going to make Juice explain himself.
Explain yourself.
What?
Whoa.
Why?
What have you done?
I saw the mem. I saw the mem on Facebook. I laughed for 5 minutes.
Did he just call it a mem?
Mem, whatever. So it's the for meme. Mem. Is this a potato thing?
Pretty much.
No, it's not.
We're just giving you the gears.
Oh, fuck you all.
Me.
Anyway, yes.
Me.
The Pawn Stars meme that you see that people like to modify when those two were fighting and threw chairs at each other and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
There was
yeah.
a very
The dialogue
There
was
was-
weird.
yes. There was I posted a very how shall we say
I'm going to go look at it.
It escalated quickly.
creepy meme. And
just-
It
yeah,
was so creepy.
Oh.
It
I
it
just-
was
escalated
so
very
creepy, but it
quickly.
was fucking funny.
God.
Come on
Oh,
now.
God.
I just tried to
I'm
search
reading it.
Juice
Oh,
on
no.
Facebook.
I did the same thing.
I'll find it and I'll
Hold
post
on,
it in
hold
the
on.
chat. Just give me a
No,
second.
no,
here.
it's
Found it.
yeah.
Why did you have sex with her? She was lying there naked. What was I supposed to do? I haven't read this to the end. I'm reading this just live. The autopsy. The fucking autopsy. Don't tell me how to do my job. You're the worst vet on earth. What's wrong with you?
Okay. Sidebar, it's called a necropsy when it's a veterinary event.
You are not the only person that
And
called
someone
on
pointed that
eh?
out,
Yeah.
and it actually makes it even more funnier.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, this. You know what? I've been thinking about this. This works on
Why?
so many comedic levels. It's
No.
every time I think of it a different
No,
way,
no.
I laugh for another
Stop
5
talking,
minutes.
stop talking.
So
I just commented with
I
a
have a
sad
weird
face.
sense of I have a weird sense of humor. Deal with it. Otherwise, fuck y'all. I'm done.
Dealing with it for like 9 years now, and I'm okay with it.
I
Should
like
I-
how you
should I
were
queue
very
up that
inclusive
There you
with
go.
y'all. It was very inclusive, y'all. You didn't just say "fuck you guys." You were like "fuck y'all." It's nice.
This
Well,
is why it's from the
I
South.
can, yes. Well, considering I live
We're
with someone that
inclusive, but
comes
we're
from
creepy.
Tennessee, y'all gets thrown around here a lot.
Sorry.
Welcome to the Flinncast, everyone.
I've been waiting all day.
I don't know how to segue from this.
Where do we go from here? Nerdy
Oh.
stuff.
Hey, Juice, what other things do you like that
Oh,
aren't
God.
necrophilia? I mean,
And
Well,
that-
I happen to like this new show that's just on called
cool.
Lower Decks.
I like that show too.
Lower Decks. All right. Okay.
It's amazing, and all the haters can go fuck themselves.
Agreed.
It's very, very TNG themed, which I really like.
Yeah.
Well, technically it is TNG because it's
Yeah.
done like 2 years after the final movie, if I remember
Mhm.
correctly.
Yeah.
Yes, it is
Yeah.
post-Nemesis, but pre-Romulan sun going supernova.
Exactly.
So
The title
there you go.
sequence is fucking brilliant.
Right?
Like finally,
It is.
Music is
Love
really
it.
good.
finally, Star Trek is not taking itself too seriously, and it's working. It's working really
Mhm.
well.
It's always been funny though. That's the thing. Like Star Trek has always been funny. There's
That's true.
always been funny.
So like because I've been watching some reviews on YouTube, and like people, it's very much the new Star Trek. You either love it or you hate it with the passion of 1,000 suns, whatever, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
Fuck the haters. Like I feel like some guys are like they've put Star Trek up on this pedestal of academia, or
Yes.
like, because I like Star Trek, that's a higher class of science fiction than your other science fiction,
Yes.
like The Expanse or Star Wars or
So Star Trek is very much cerebral. I mean, that's how it markets itself. And you also got to realize a lot of the fans are going to be fans that saw it back in the late 60s, 70s, or even the 90s. They're older fans, and they have their opinions, and they don't like things changing. So when new stuff like Discovery or Picard or Lower Decks comes out, you're going to get that pushback. It's inevitable. But the great part is that because of Discovery and because of Picard and now Lower Decks, it's reaching out to a much broader audience. And I'm happy because it actually introduces Star Trek to a like newer generations, and it's not going to wither on the vine and die.
I hope that Stranger Things is really good. Or sorry, not Stranger Things. Strange New World, really good and episodic and all that jazz. If you tried to make TNG right now, no one would watch it. You would get 2 seasons and get canceled immediately, because that's just not how TV's made anymore.
No, and that is true. I mean, if you tried the original series, even if you updated the special effects and such like that, if you tried to make that today, it would get canned after 3 or 4 episodes. I mean,
Yeah, there's 3 or 4 seasons. And I was going to say it did get canceled after 3 or 4 seasons.
I was going to say 3 or 4 episodes. What I meant, but I mean, just TV. Yeah, it's like generations of people, generations of television. It changes from generation to generation. I mean, back in the '60s, Star Trek was pretty revolutionary. No one really was doing something like Star Trek. It definitely pushed boundaries. And, it really made a mark. I mean, and in the '90s, I mean, you had TV like God, L.A. Law, Hill Street Blues, stuff, ER, stuff like that, and TNG fit right into that that type of filmmaking, but it still held on to the, I guess, the cerebral ideas of the original Star Trek, and it worked, and it was fantastic. Then DS9 came out. DS9 was actually, and I find it funny because DS9, I'm pretty sure was probably one of the first major TV shows to last as long as it did. That was that actually had a overall arcing theme throughout its entire series. It jumped the gun on Battlestar Galactica by at least 5-6 years, which is kind of funny because Ron D. Moore, who actually wrote on DS9, became the showrunner for Battlestar Galactica, and you can see his influence. You can definitely see his influence on the on both series. And I mean, Voyager came out, and then I'll even say when Enterprise came out, it was designed for its generation of TV and such. Unfortunately, it didn't last that long, which was kind of sad because it did start to get better after during season 3. It really started to get into its groove and get better. And then we now have Discovery and Picard, which are totally serialized.
Yeah,
I've got the term right. They're totally serialized. They're very action oriented, but they do build characters as well. It's just the TV that people are making today. So so to summarize that entire rant, speech, whatever, Lower Decks is being made for the audience of today, and older Trekkies who hang on to the original series aren't going to like it, and that's okay.
And kind of, I don't know, it's considering how much work has already been done in a couple of episodes on like developing the characters, and like I really want to know what happens to these people. You know, I feel like there are a lot of people who are really missing out, who are saying, this isn't for me, this is dumb, it's cartoon, blah.
I saw a meme recently that describes new Star Trek shows as every new Star Trek show is basically hated and decried as heresy until the next new show comes out, and then whatever they were bitching about is now included in the sacred texts of Star Trek. It's like, now Discovery's not the new show anymore, so Lower Decks is the new heretic on the block. And then, you know what I mean?
Yeah, meanwhile, they're all rallying around Enterprise.
Yeah.
You know what? Star Trek fans had to jump on Star Wars fans for being asshole fans long before Star Wars fans started become some Star Wars fans started to become asshole fans.
It's true. Very much enjoying Lower Decks. I have some concerns about stuff in the show getting old fast, like the odd couple relationship between the two main characters. I feel like that's going to wear on me quick. You know what I mean? Like the genius underachiever and the by the book, fussy guy. It's like, how long is that going to be funny?
What I am kind of excited about was we actually have a Cadian in the main series, which is actually kind of cool. Because we haven't seen one of yes, she is. Haven't seen one of those since the animated series in the 70s.
Yeah, for good reason. It wouldn't fucking work in real life.
They were in the Federation Council scene in The Voyage Home. There were a couple of them.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, there were.
And they look cool.
Says it all right there.
Yeah.
So here's my other concern about the show going forward. And again, I'm a fan of the show. I like it. I'm just critiquing it here.
We just talking.
The dialogue is quick and snappy and funny. At times, I feel like it's going a little too quick.
So that was my complaint about the first episode. The Boimler and Mariner parts, like the quote-unquote A plot, it was rapid fire, nonstop. But I found the second episode slowed it down. I don't know, it went from an 11 to an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little more time to process what was being said.
I mean, I appreciate really good, funny, quick humor, but it's like it's so fast. It almost feels to me like they've taken the recorded dialogue of the actors and sped it up about 10%. You know, like it's a little, almost verging on too quick.
I've seen a couple of people actually talking about watching it with closed captioning on.
Oh God.
And getting more out of it, and actually, and you know, it's this same thing as watching like a, you know, like a British show where you're missing some of the stuff. I mean, I don't do this, but I know some people do. Where they're actually missing part of the dialogue because they're not understanding it. And they said the people who did it said that they're like they got all the jokes.
I'm 100% that person.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Same here. Actually, I've recently just turned on my closed captioning and haven't turned it off for anything. And I'm finding when I'm actually watching it, actually like eyes on the TV instead of just listening to it, I'm actually picking up a lot more. I've also noticed, that rapid fire dialogue is becoming more prevalent in a lot of adult cartoon comedy shows.
It's Rick and Morty style.
So, exactly.
Yeah. Although even in Discovery, I mean, Tilly talks like that a lot.
Yeah.
Like that same just kind of like just it's
and it's funny. It's good. I like it, but it's just I'm worried that it's gonna be too much, you know. After long enough, like 10 episodes of that is gonna wear me out. You know what I mean?
Right.
I tend to find though a lot of the rapid fire stuff, a lot of it seems to be Star Trek based. So if you're a previous fan and you get a lot of the jokes, it's a little easier to follow.
Definitely.
You know who's cracking me up already is the Bajoran security chief. I like this guy.
And so I really like the officers too. Like I know Mariner makes them out to be like, oh, just out to get their names in the history books, but like, I really like all the officers. I liked the B plot of the second episode where Rutherford's like, I'm going to try out different jobs.
That was brilliant.
And they're all like super, you know, Starfleety, and they care about their and all that jazz.
Yeah, they're so supportive.
I'm just
I actually found that funny because you're just about to think that they're gonna chew them out. Hey, good for you for figuring it out. Off you go, young butterfly.
Yes.
I was just hoping that in the first episode, the Bajoran security officer, he's like, we've got to detonate the warp core. And I was like, please let that be a meme that happens like every other episode or whatever. And there was no reason to blow up the warp core this time.
Yeah.
And they're really good in this show about adhering to details. Like the Bajoran guy says, "Buy the profits," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's good."
Yes.
The lead writer that they have from Rick and Morty, I can't remember his name, but Mike something or other.
Mike,
I think. Anyways, so he's a huge TNG fan, and he also ran the season 8 Twitter account on Twitter. Well, of course.
So
if anybody wants to go look at it, go on Twitter, go look up TNG season 8, and basically it's his list of ideas of things that should happen in they're never going to happen TNG season 8, and it's hilarious.
It's so good, yeah.
Oh, I'm actually gonna check that out. That sounds great.
Yeah, it's so good.
The level of detail so far in the first two episodes is crazy amazing. I'm really impressed. They're the sounds, the way the sounds is actually I think what caught me the most when I was listening, like doors opening and closing, the phaser firing, the transporter, the ship sound, the transporter whoosh, everything, and it's really it's creepily or eerily good. I like it.
I love that there's because there's so much reverence for that time period and the like aesthetic and all of it, like the sound, the visuals, like what a ship at that time looked like and felt past, present, you know what I mean? And it's oh man, yeah, like they brought in the Okudas to help them figure out how to translate the Alcars, like all of the computer visuals. into this medium. It's
They really care about Star Trek in this show. Like
oh yeah,
it feels like Next Generation the way kind of the Orville does. You know, it feels like a good Star Trekky show, but it's not taking itself seriously anymore, and it's the attention to detail. I mean, in the first episode, someone got off the shuttlecraft and they had like a Geordie visor on. It's just little bits of like that scattered throughout the show. It's just they really care about it, and it shows.
The other thing that somebody online was bringing up with that second episode where they're going from, enclave to enclave to enclave to enclave, or through that marketplace or whatever you want to call it, that the width and breadth of alien species you could never do on live action.
It's true.
Yeah.
Because there would be so many different prostheses, you'd have no time you'd never be able to do it all.
Yeah, like
CGI bill would be crazy expensive.
Exactly. There were, one or two episodes over the years, where they go into a bar, like in Unification, where they go into the bar looking for the the fat Ferengi and all that, and there's like a few different aliens. Or in Gambit, there were like, once again, a bar with like a few different aliens, just enough to make it like look like there's a bunch of different ones. But this really. Ugh.
And the aliens just basically had some prostheses on just to make it look alien enough to be alien. But I mean, in episode 2, you had there were big aliens, small aliens, covered completely in fur.
Yes.
Original alien or TOS aliens, TNG aliens, all sorts of aliens.
So here's a question. I haven't read much about the show going forward, so I don't. Maybe Juice, you've heard something, but like, can we expect in this show any cameos by notable? Like, would Worf or Geordi pop in? As a cameo appearance by the voice actors, and would they be as silly as everyone else and get into the spirit of the show? Like, can we expect any celebrity TNG style guest shots?
I have read more than a few articles that the creators have said there will be cameos from known Star Trek personalities. They haven't said who or when, but they are supposed to show up sometime in the season. I fully expect to see Picard. I mean, hell, he 100%. He was a main character in American Dad, so he's well versed in animated comedy like this. So,
I mean, he was also in a couple episodes of Family Guy as Picard, wasn't he?
Actually, yeah, the whole original series, the whole TNG cast for the most part was in one episode of Family Guy. So yes, they've all done it. So. Wouldn't surprise me if some of them will show up. As I said, they haven't said who yet, but they're supposed to be coming.
So the cool thing not the cool thing, but the thing that I'm really liking is their cold open jokes.
Yes.
With the references they make in the cold open jokes. For Power Cell and the little light ball aliens that I remember from something and I can't remember what it is. And then the holodeck stuff and all the flagged shore leave merch.
The Ferengi fake out in the second episode was fucking brilliant.
That was awesome. Human.
Of course he's Ferengi. Look at him. He's doing the hand thing. It's so true.
He's a Bolian.
Frankies do that hand thing. I'm doing it right now.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, when she talks to him, he's wearing a monocle. An actual monocle. That was amazing.
And he's just a delight, yeah.
Yeah, he's a refined gentleman.
Yeah.
So next week we will definitely do the next episode of Lower Decks. So who's Merida and Cryus? Where are you in Umbrella Academy? How far did you get? Oh, I think we lost Cryus.
Episode 4. I made him read something and then he cursed and then that was... Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, you're good.
I can hear you. And
apparently just my Wi-Fi dropped.
And now I'm back from outer space.
I just wanted to be with
Great.
You're like the dad in Monty Python. No singing, not like that. Nope, stop.
No. Just a second. I'm reading the synopsis of that episode because I'm like, I don't want to say something.
Last thing that happened, they've all found each other.
Okay, that doesn't help.
Ish.
Ish. So trying to think what was the
Episode
last thing
4
on the screen.
synopsis.
Ellen Page and the other lady have their first smooch, and that's how the episode ends.
Okay.
I don't think it ended on smooching. I think you just ended it on smooching.
Well, that's enough for now.
I had one more lower decks thing to say, but whatever.
Oh, say it.
So the only thing I didn't.
And we lost you.
Hello?
As soon as you started talking, it dropped. Is he still talking?
No, I think he's
Be-doo. Cry us.
stomping out. Be-doo.
Clearly meant to say this.
Let's try again.
Babe, check the router behind you and make sure that's online. Because I'm getting a signal, but it's really weak. So just double check that that's not gone down.
For the third time. The one thing I didn't like about the second episode was when Rutherford is doing his career day, is that the only blue shirt activity is portrayed is working in sickbay. And there would be lots of other science-related things that he could be doing that weren't holding the guy's heart.
Yeah.
That's valid.
Yeah, astrophysics, cetacean ops.
I have actually read that they actually are going to have an episode that will feature cetacean ops.
Yeah,
I
I heard the
want
same
to
thing.
Exactly.
I want to see dolphins in uniforms.
Me too.
Or at least some type of cetaceous animal. They don't have to be they don't have to be earth dolphins, but they could be like, I don't know.
Whales.
I just reread
Whales.
Dark Mirror, which is the Next Generation novel that takes place like with the Mirror universe, which is actually a great book. But there is a cetacean scientist that comes on board in that book, and it talks about like the special cabin that they have to make for him, and like his like special suit thing that he floats around in.
And see, that's stuff they could never do with live action because you could never do that. Like it would be CG and it would look terrible.
Sorry, us Star Trek peeps are like all over this right now. So we're like,
That's good.
I'm in Nirvana.
I saw another article just yesterday reiterating about how Strange New Worlds is going to return to a classic TOS style episodic thing, and I'm like, yeah, man, I'm in.
Yep.
That's going to be awesome.
All of it. They keep talking just in the various, the Facebook pages, and they talk about the 23 weeks of new Star Trek, and I added 23 weeks of Gatekeeper tears.
Jeez, I don't think we've had 23 weeks of new Star Trek since
the 90s.
Ah, jeez, I think, when DS9 and Voyager and Star Trek were all running at the same time.
Yeah.
I remember we watched that last episode with the poker scene up in my old barn room in Bedeck. All of us were up there.
Yeah. And do you remember how I cried for an hour after everyone left? Like I just remember laying on your couch crying.
It was a big night for us. It was our first big finale.
All right, I think we were going on to Umbrella Academy.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we're just.
I'm liking this segue because I'm like reading because I watched the first two episodes again, and now I'm quickly like reading through the synopsis of the other two.
We're just waiting for letting Cryus and Merida figure out their internet. We're not in a rush.
Nope.
Oh, right.
Cool. So we could talk more Lower Decks. What else do you like about it, Jen?
Well, I really like those uniforms.
Me too.
Yeah, they are spiffy, aren't they?
Yeah.
And have you noticed they're actually wearing, honest to God, like boots? I mean, stuff you actually put your pants into, rather than like rather than the pants that with that riding boot or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The other thing, I'm trying to figure out exactly if there's any color code to the boots, because some of them are white, some of them are blacks, and I'm trying to figure out if there's some sort of is there some sort of color code that is as to like the uniforms are.
Here's a geeky detail to chew over.
Ooh, good question. Yeah.
But apparently I read, that was one of the uniforms they were going to try and use in one of the series, but decided not to, so they figured it fit in quite well.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of amused. I'm actually kind of amused at Starfleet because they like to change their uniforms as often as like a party girl is changing her dress every night. I don't get it. Stick to a uniform for like a decade and leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean the the gray top, like First Contact, like later DS9, Nemesis. That would those uniforms have run through 10 years?
Oh God, let me think. Well,
Because they're
if
like what
if
season
DS9,
6 of DS9, maybe?
I think it's season 5 or 4. I think 5.
Because
I'm
there's
pretty sure 5 definitely.
I think it's
4
5
possibly.
because 4, when Worf comes on the station, he's wearing a classic uniform.
Okay,
Like,
so season 5, so that's a 5, 6, 7. That's at least 3 years,
yeah,
and then you had some time after that.
and then you've
Yeah,
got
maybe like 7, 8 years before
yeah.
7, 8, 9. Yeah, so that might be a decade before they flipped over.
I think we're gonna do it next week, Juice. But did you watch Project Power yet?
I am halfway through it. I started to, when I thought we were going to possibly talk about it, I started watching it. I got halfway through the movie when my wife told me that the groceries were ready for pickup, and then I did that, came back, did supper, and then this. So
yeah, it just came out,
it.
so we'll do that next week. Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna watch it this week too.
it's really cool.
I'm enjoying it so far, though.
I'm enjoying it on the same level I did like with Old Guard and Bright. It's just a good original Netflix superhero-y type movie.
Yep, I agree.
It's got some good actors in it. Joe Gordon-Levitt, he's just one of those guys. He's good in everything.
It's true.
He really is.
He's like Frank's Red Hot Sauce.
Amazing.
Oh
Yes.
You mean he's good on everything?
Yeah.
And sometimes you like didn't even know that like it should be there, but then you put him on there and you're like, whoa.
Like Inception. It just made it so much better.
Right? Yeah.
Of course, Jamie Foxx too in the restaurant. This isn't part of the movie where the waitress asks, "Yeah, are you doing okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine." "Yeah, you definitely are. Anything else I can get you?"
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can give me some Frank's Red Hot Sauce.
Weird point. I rarely hear Cryos like gutturally visually swear.
I mean, I swear every once in a while, but it's not like my every third word.
Yeah, not like us fucking assholes.
Back, how we doing? What?
No,
Speaking
it's
of
really good
which,
timing.
What?
Speaking of fucking assholes. No.
Hello.
Oh, hey.
invasion of the pointy-eared Star Trek fans.
It's true.
Well, we tried to talk about other things, and they wouldn't let us.
We own all your communication channels now.
We do. We do.
We are the Flynn. You will be disintegrated. Resistance is optional.